I'm tired. I'm done. I just can't be bothered with this team anymore. It is what it is, people. Big up everyone. Big up everyone that's watching the video. I know I'm doing an upload for this travesty. I've lost the energy for this football club. I'm sick and tired of talking about these guys. Feel like every week is the same old nonsense. Players just don't seem like they're going to be playing for the sake of it. They don't put in enough fight. We just get overran. We get beaten every single battle that we have on the pitch. Every single player on the pitch was just mediocre. I'd argue Rio was probably the best player. And even then, he was great for his age. But was he, if you're talking about the levels of winning a league title, which is what we put these expectations on these players, are we going to give him that rating of those expectations? I don't think we would. But heck, he's the only positive of a really, really poor, lethargic, dire performance. Aston Villa had us on the ropes in the first 15 minutes. Aston Villa got their goal from off the run of our own play, which, to be fair, did we even create anything out of note? Not really. We put the ball in the back of the net, but unfortunately, Cody Gakpo can't seem to keep on side, can't even seem to hold his run, can't even seem to just look across the line and get back on side. Corner routine for their first goal. Morgan Rogers, space, time, and the ability he has. Why did he have that availability in our box just to finesse it into the bottom corner? You knew what happened. You knew when he cut inside on that right foot on the top on one of the corners of the box. You knew what was going to happen. But yet we just seem clueless to close him down for that situation. The second half, we played horribly as well. We weren't that good. We got back into the game somehow. Another set piece. Fair play to Szoboszlai. Good ball into the box. Virgil van Dijk with a good header. But then again, Szoboszlai ends up slipping on the floor, gives them an opening, which Ollie Watkins tucks away. And then the heads dropped. The heads dropped from start to finish. And I want to post this. I want to post this because it shows it's this man right here. Just everything. He has control of everything at Anfield. Everything at the football club. But we're playing a style of football that is what is best out of these football players, isn't it, Arne? We're playing a style of football that gets the best out of these players. We're playing a style of football that you believe is a winning style of football. Something that isn't completely different from what we're used to. Something that we haven't played. Something that we've played for God knows how long. Not completely different from what we did last season at the start of the season. It's horrendous. And then they end up getting their fourth goal. John McGinn, who, to be fair, the fact that Aston Villa have got a cup final on Wednesday. They've got a cup final on Wednesday. This game today was not their priority. I guarantee you, they do not prioritize this game over the cup final, the Europa League final. It's the first time they've been in a final for quite a while. It's the first time Unai Emery has taken the football club to a final. I think he has had a couple of opportunities, but it hasn't worked out in his favor. They didn't really care about this game. The lineup may say otherwise, but it's all about rhythm. It was all about getting people in the right rhythm, good bit of confidence to go into the final. And the fact that we were so horrible, but horrible enough where we I allowed a team who's not really focused on this game as of much, and yet we concede 4 goals, which could have been 5 or 6, given how poorly we defended in the second half, is ridiculous. And I think I really don't want to focus on this game because I think it's just been a culmination of what's happened with this football club for the past 6, 7 months. We've said this again and again and again since the start of the season. We gave it a bly in the start of the season when we said, look, things may get better, but things haven't gotten better. In fact, things have gotten worse, much, much worse. Performances haven't improved. In fact, at some points, you could argue confidence in these players have hit a rock bottom. And we still haven't qualified for Europe. We still haven't qualified for Champions League football. And the defeat today, the lackluster performance against Chelsea, the fact that we're winning 1-0 after 10 minutes and don't decide to go for the jugular, the booing, the overall lack of belief at the football club. I'm starting to wonder what these guys are thinking at this moment. I'm starting to wonder, does Richard Hughes, does Michael Edwards actually watch the football that we play? Is their arrogance the reason why we will never progress as a football class? Is there arrogance in believing that Arne Slot, who, by the way, I'm going to ask everyone in the comment section below as a little question, a little task. Has there ever been a manager that started well, regressed significantly, then bounced back from it? I don't think there's ever been a manager that's done that. I know people say Mikel Arteta did that. Mikel Arteta stagnated at 8th and slowly curved upwards and progressed with Arsenal Football Club. So he don't count. The comments that I'm hearing from these journos, like I'm hearing comments from Paul Joyce about the manager's getting the vote of confidence from the board. He's going to be here next season. Nothing's going to change. There's still belief that the guy could turn it around. What is he going to turn around? What, he's gonna sell a bunch of players that we can't be affording to sell. We're going to get rid of Alisson. We're already getting rid of Salah and Robertson. We're going to get rid of Curtis Jones as well from the looks of things. He's going to go to Inter Milan. What? And you're telling me Adam Wharton, Elliot Anderson, who we're not even linked with, Yan Diamande, Bradley Barcola. You think all these players are going to come in and automatically fix everything? The football that we are playing is rotten to the core. Rotten to the core. And every week, content creators like myself, you got people like the boys from Coppish, the boy, big up Monts, Hassam, Tom Little whenever he's on, Jamie. We say the same things every week on repeat. And you know what? As content creators, we have nothing more to say. The one thing that we would love to be saying at this moment is we believe in this team. We believe that the manager that can sort of change things around, but we have no evidence of that. If we don't have any evidence of that, then why should we believe that the manager can take us back to where we want to be? He got a winning squad. He got a title winning squad, regardless of what everyone thinks. The fact that we had 4 games left and we could have won those games and got around about 92, 93 points tells me that we had a title winning squad. The fact that he had the war chest that was promised for many, many years, certain managers weren't offered that luxury, i.e. Jurgen Klopp only one time was able to spend an entire war chest in one summer out of however many summers he had. Rafa Benitez, the fact that the guy literally was awake until 3 a.m. doing up accountancy when he's trying to figure out whether he should sell Xabi Alonso to get Gareth Barry. That is the heritage of Liverpool Football Club when it comes to managers being backed. This manager had the keys to the war chest, the bank, everything. And we have gotten worse, significantly worse. Worse beyond even our imaginations. I'll tell you, at the start of the season, if I told everyone, all the Liverpool fan base, people on Twitter, even rival fans like flipping Terry, Igal, people like that, if I told all these people this season, Liverpool are going to finish fifth in the league, which we're currently at the moment. We're going to be closer to Bournemouth than we are to Arsenal. We're going to be humiliated 4-0 in the FA Cup against Manchester City. We're going to be humiliated in the League Cup 3-0 by Crystal Palace. We're going to be humiliated in the Champions League where we're going to be beaten 4-0 when it should have been about 6 or 7 on aggregate. They all would have called you crazy. They would have been like, you signed Viets, you signed Isak, you signed Ekatike, you signed all these players. That won't happen. Even the most negative Liverpool fan won't even think of that. They would have been saying challenging for a league title, bare minimum. They would have been saying get into a final of a Champions League. They would have been at least get to a final of one of the domestics as well, if not semi-finals for both. But Liverpool fans want to tell us that this manager deserves another chance when other managers who had less resources, we still demanded much from them. The football that we are playing is not what Liverpool need. And I've been hearing a lot of rumors. Xabi Alonso has agreed a deal with Chelsea. Another wasted opportunity. Another wasted opportunity. If it is the case that it's Julian Nagelsmann, which, again, I'm a massive fan of Julian Nagelsmann. I think he's a very good coach. But I can't guarantee that this guy leaves Germany for Liverpool. I can't guarantee it. So it's obviously there's going to be a little bit in the air. If it happens, great. If it don't happen, don't great. But we can only go off what we're reading at the moment. The likes of Paul Joyce, the likes of Ben Jacobs, the likes of David Lynch, who actually asked a question on the press conference to Arne Slot. Do you see yourself managing Liverpool Football Club next season? When he he said this directly to everyone on camera in front of all the journos, I will be here next season, and I'm already planning transfers for next season. So I'm sorry if people think that I'm being a bit pessimistic about the fact he might not leave. I'm only going off what the journals are saying. I'm only going off what the manager's saying, and I'm going off what the club is saying. And right now, everything's directed at Arne Slot staying, which is an absolute travesty. One of the worst performing champions we've ever been. One of the worst performing champions in Premier League history. In fact, not even Premier League history, in the history of English football. One of the worst. Is it the worst? Definitely a conversation. Definitely a conversation. Will I say it is? I still think the Chelsea one's the worst, but that's by the by. It's like splitting hairs. You just don't know. It's a case for either. But serious decisions have to be made in the summer. Serious work needs to be done in the summer as well. Year after year, we can never seem to put up a team that can consistently challenge on all fronts on a consistent yearly basis. It always seems one year we challenge or we win. Next year, we might fall off a little bit. We made the same mistakes with Jurgen Klopp. We thought we rectified it under Arne Slot, but it seems as though the club still wants to put up with this manager. And I, for one, I really am struggling to see what the direction is with Liverpool Football Club. I've had multiple arguments with multiple fan bases, people like Mo, people like Touchline, about whether Liverpool could come back. At this point, from what I'm reading and from what I'm seeing, especially from today and from the past 4 or 5 months, nothing's going to change. And you know what? I'm at a point where I think Liverpool Football Club may not even get European football next season. You know what? No, that's a little bit of a overstatement. They might not get Champions League football next season. Another season of mediocrity, another season of waste for certain players, another season where, to be fair, I don't even know if I'm going to watch every single game. If Arne Slot's still manager of Liverpool Football Club, next season, I will be putting out a video naming 50 things you could do instead of watching Liverpool Football Club. That's where my head is at the moment. And that's where I'm really struggling with this football club. I'm struggling to support them and struggling to believe that we can be where we're meant to be. I seriously am struggling. But big up everyone. I appreciate everyone that watches the video. Put your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. On the road to 2,000, all that good stuff. I will be back as soon as with another video. But serious work needs to be done at Liverpool Football Club. Serious work.